Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Kara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today on another day of Frizzmas. We are on day 15. Yes, I was like, damn, Frizzmas is gonna be over next Friday. That's crazy. I don't know, time is flying, but I'm having a lot of fun. So today I am going to be just getting ready for work. I don't really have any special topics or anything. I'm going to be using the Pat Mcgrath Voyeuristic Vixen quad because I think in 2 videos I mentioned it and I'm like, I'm just mentioning it. I need to use it. So I'm going to be using that today and a couple other Pat Mcgrath goodies of mine. I'm going to do a lippy. I'm going to do a blush and her highlighter. Yes. So if you want to just hang out for a little bit while I use this quad and see it in action, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love and you'd like to connect with other makeup enthusiasts, consider joining the community because we'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So yes, y'all, as I was already getting started with the video, I've been talking about this quad a lot lately. This is the Voyeuristic Vixen quad. Well, Venus in Fleurs Voyeuristic Vixen quad by Mama Pat. Came in this beautiful purple packaging and it was a part of the Divine Blush release. It was the little trinket, the little snack she threw in the bag with it. You know, she had the highlighter as well. So I'm just going to use that today. Now, I did purchase the 2 new holiday quads and that Crowns highlighter from Instagram because she had that, like, somebody said basement prices. She had that deep discount sale and I think I got all 3 for like 82 bucks. So I'll have a video on those soon, but I just wanted to use this today. Doesn't really match with anything I have on, but I mean, who wants to be matchy, right? Let's go ahead and get started. I have primed my eyes with the Glam Light Icing Primer, and we're gonna go ahead and get into this. So here is what the quad looks like up close. And you know, the star of this is that Rose Fire Nectar shade, which is right here. It's got a pink to gold flip in it, so definitely want to use that. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade After Dusk, which is, you know, her staple matte, and gonna go ahead and start that in the outer corners. Get this show on the road. And I'm just using a What's Up Beauty, it's a tapered blending brush, and tapping it off. I'm just gonna work this kind of into the crease as well as above the crease. And this base is just a bit tacky, so I'm just gonna kind of place it there before I start my little swipies. One thing that I like about this color is you can build it up to make it, you know, more of a smoke shade, and then you can also diffuse it out so it makes a really beautiful transition shade as well. I really like that she started to include the mattes in these quads because the first 3 quads that she had were like those astral shades, and while you can do a complete look with those, they're not my favorite. So like already I just like how that looks, and I will probably go back into After Dusk just to add some more smokiness to the look in a little bit. What I'm going for right now. I'm doing the same thing on the other side. And here's what we have so far. Like I said, I'm not going for anything super dramatic, but if you want this After Dusk shade to be more bold, more or deeper, you know, more so the way it looks in the pan, you can build it up easily. But I'm good with this for my transition. I mean, what more can you ask for a matte shade? This is just perfect. So again, it's gonna be really simple today. I'm gonna go in with the shade Twilight Bronze, which I really love this shade. It's kind of like a taupey bronze shade. And I think what I'm gonna do is use Twilight Bronze and then use the Rose Fire Nectar on top, maybe something like that. So I'm gonna take just a little packing brush and go into the pan, and then I'm gonna give it a little spray. I never purchased that intensifies pen that she purchased. I'm not sure if I was really into that. But let's go ahead and put Twilight Bronze here on this part of the lid, as well as on the first third. And I'm gonna leave the center of the lid open for Rose Fire Nectar. That's what I'm gonna do. I just love her metallic so much, y'all. I cannot tell you how much, but I just really do. I'm just gonna connect it here. So far we've used After Dusk, we've used Twilight Bronze, and now we're gonna go into Rose Fire Nectar. And I don't know if you can see, like, yeah, you can't really see it, but it's really nice. If you have the shade Tucana from Divina Cosmetics, if you're into indie, kind of reminds me of that. I mean, the texture isn't exactly the same, but it's like that pinky gold. And I'm gonna use a brush today, and it's sprayed, so. If you don't spray these, they will flake and fall out. You will get that. And sometimes I think for shades like this one, it's really hard to see the true beauty of the shade on a camera, but in person, it's like, you know, you catch that natural light. Okay. I'm gonna go back into After Dusk and just try to deepen it up a little bit on the outer corner. You see how you can make it deeper right there? Take it down onto the lower lash line, just with what I have on my brush. And I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush for the rest of the lower lash line. I was just starting it out. But yeah, I love how buildable this shade is. All right, I'm gonna switch brushes. Switch into a rougher number 2 brush, just using the same shade. This is just gonna target my lower lash line a bit better. And I'm gonna go into Moonlight Liaison with a pencil brush to do my inner corner point and to highlight my brow bone. So that's it for the eyes. I will do some liner and mascara off camera shortly. I am going to use the Pat McGrath Dark Star for that, but I want to get into the cheeks and the lipstick before I do that. Oh, and the highlighter. Okay. I do have some bronzer on my face. It is the Gucci bronzer. It is the shade 3. So it's more of a a medium neutral shade. I'm gonna go into the Divine Rose blush. Let's pop that up here. This one to me has a bit of a cooler feel that I really like. So you can see that. This brush, by the way, is by Bristles Beauty. It is a F09 RM brush. And you know what? It's funny how things change and can change quickly, because at one point, and I'm not saying I wouldn't do this anymore, but at one point, like last week, I was using my Refer 22 brush to do blush. And I'm not saying I wouldn't anymore, because you can, but this, so I've been working with learning about blush placement, and I think on me, because I think it can be different on everyone, but for me, the higher up the blush is, the better it looks. But I also try not to mix it in too much with my bronzer, if that makes sense. Because there's some videos I was looking at, and even some pictures that I've taken, and there has been, depending on the type of texture, like if it was a cream or just whatever the formula of the products that I was using were, that my face appeared a bit muddy at times. And so, you know, one of the things that I'm learning is like, your placement of everything is crucial. And then sometimes the way I hold my face, or the way I was holding my face when I put my blush on, like it would be great for a smile, but when you have your face regular, the blush is not really sitting where I would want it to be. So I've been trying to like make sure I hold my face in a natural way. I do want the blush to be on like this part of my cheeks, with the apples of your cheeks or whatever, but I don't want it to be too low, if that makes sense. And I'm not perfect at it, but I'm working at it. So that's something I've been paying like a great deal of attention to. So I was not using this brush like that at all. And now I'm realizing, wow, this is really the perfect brush for me to apply my blush. Because this one, it's just hard to get it like exact. You can, but you just have to be a little more careful. Now I will say this brush, it's just so great. It's so delicious and nutritious. Let's go, I don't know where I got that from, to the highlighter, which is the Divine Glow, and it is the shade Golden Nectar. It is a very like everyday basic highlighter. I'm gonna use this fluffy blending brush. It's an eyeshadow brush to apply it. So just tapping into it, and I'm just gonna go right here, and it's just so soft and natural looking. I'm gonna put some up here, just a little bit on the nose, not too much. And I always like to put it right here. Linda Hallberg always does that. Okay, so the last thing I have is the lipstick. This is the shade Dream Lover, which was also released with the Divine Blush collection. And it is one of her Mattetrance lipsticks. And that's what it looks like. Now I have two of her liners here. I have the shade Buff and I have Suburbia. I'm not sure which one I want to use. So let's see. It's probably going to be Buff, I think. So there's the swatch of the lipstick. Buff is the shade that's pretty much spot on. And then Suburbia is deeper. You could probably make either one work, but I'm gonna go with Buff. Now, Buff is not a new lip liner. Buff came out with the Divine Rose 2 collection in those lipsticks. Ooh, somebody's calling me. Hold on. Oh, I think it's Granddad. That was Granddad. So apparently August left his iPad. They take their iPads with them. And you know what? August was too busy being smart about not wanting to brush his teeth, and that's what happened. Like, that's his responsibility. He'll be all right. He's only over there for like an hour, and then they get dropped back off here, so he will manage. Not gonna let this technology run our lives completely. My lips are lined. I'm gonna go ahead with the Dream Lover shade, which is beautiful. That's it. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my mascara and my liner. I'll be back to finish out the video and show y'all the final look. I might keep the ears today, we'll see. Okay, you guys, so here is the finished look. I am just realizing for the first time that I do not own any of Pat Mcgrath's eyeliners. I think she only has two. There's like a brown and a black, but I don't own any of them. And I think she has like a felt tip one. So maybe when she does her next sale, maybe I'll get one of those to try out. But what I did use today is the, I used a double-ended liner by Charlotte Tilbury. It's for Mesmerizing Maroon. So the bottom is a shimmer, and then the top is like a burgundy plum matte. And I love how this came out. Like the mascara and the liner really set it off. Again, I used the Dark Star Mascara by Pat McGrath, and then first I applied the NYX On the Rise Lash Booster. So I think the booster does help, and I think the lash serum that I'm using is working. It is by Grande Lashes. So here is the look. And with that being said, I am on my way to work. So thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me on another day of Frizzmas. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And when I do these videos before work, it's like just my little piece before, you know, the kids come, and it's a few minutes that I have by myself where the boys are gone. So it just gives me just a great feeling of comfort and a way to reset myself to start my day. Yeah, the kids will be here in 15 minutes, so I do have to rush to get down the street. But until I see you again tomorrow, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all then. Bye.